Hey, dude, it's your boy Nextstop Sirchcity.
Yo, what's up, everybody? It's your girl, Nita.
Welcome back to another week, another crazy week
Another
of the Food We Watch
one.
podcast. You
And
guys,
another one.
it's getting down to the wire here.
Oh, it's down
Two
to the wire.
two new episodes this week. They cutting it straight. It's like, look, we gonna run this drawing. We ain't got
They,
that
yeah.
masala.
Yup.
We gonna go
Yup.
ahead and just get this over with.
Yup.
Two, but it's the third straight week that there were two
Yup.
episodes,
Yup.
and we are gonna get into them.
Get into
So this is
this.
episode 17 and 18. We'll start with episode 17. As we know, we are down to our top 6. And by the end of this, we're going to be down to our top 3. The first episode was the restaurant takeover. Nita. That John kind of crazy. What they had to do is they had to divide into 2 teams of 3.
It was more than crazy. Let me
2
tell
teams
you.
of 3. The winning team goes straight to the semifinals, and then we already know somebody gonna get voted off for the losing team.
Can I just say this? Where they were cooking in Gordon Ramsay. I think this is one of his biggest Hell's Kitchen restaurant. It was in Funners, California. We gotta go. Did you see that spot?
I didn't think it was.
Did you see that spot?
I didn't think it was that impressive.
I'm talking about the surrounding area.
Oh, the area, yeah, it looked dope. But the restaurant, I was like, this one look kind of plain. But I digress. Gordon, if you want me to go, I'll go. You know, I'm with it. What they did now, there was judges. They handpicked judges, which was basically the winners from last week, which was Grant and Wayne. Grant was the red team.
You mean captain?
What did I say?
Judges.
That's what I said. Captains. 2 captains. Grant and Wayne, because they won last week. Grant was the captain of the red team, and he had Jennifer and Sav. And Wayne was the captain of the blue team, and he had Kennedy and Reagan.
I just want to say Kennedy was uncertain how she was going to work with Wayne. He was getting on her nerves.
She's like, I don't really bang with Wayne like that. Like, he too micromanagey. That's what she said.
Yeah.
All up in the sauce. Now they had to cook
appetizers.
Two appetizers and an entree. So the first set would be the appetizers. Then the second would be the entree. So they started with apps. Excuse me. The appetizers they had to cook was pan-seared scallops with celery root puree, braised celery root, and bacon. Was it fricassee?
Fricassee, yes.
That's bacon. That's fricassee.
Okay.
And then the second appetizer was a butter poached lobster with truffle risotto and crispy onions. So they had 2 apps they had to cook. And we're going to start with that. Man, Grant and his team.
Yo, like literally 1 minute into the competition, Jennifer like messed up.
I got some, after we talk about this, I got some words to say about Jennifer, but yo, she burnt the risotto. The first thing. This sets the tone. This sets the tone.
First minute. Yep.
Literally the first thing that goes on. She's like, "Ooh, I burnt it."
Yep.
Gordon, like, you just started.
I think Jennifer was definitely overthinking, and she was just flustered. Like it was just too much pressure. And didn't she say she like made this before?
Yes, I do believe she made this before. And it wasn't the fact that she didn't know how to make it; it's that she had her pan
I think
too
it was
high.
the pressure, but
like
I think
she's
it was
nervous.
The
Didn't
pressure.
check the pan first to see what's like.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
They got off to a rocky start from the jump.
Yep. Again, like we mentioned, Kennedy was getting frustrated with Wayne micromanaging.
Yeah, at first I thought it was going to be a problem, like because she said it, like he's too much. Like I need him to back off. And Kennedy is already strong in her opinions. Like You saw the way she navigated Sav through their partnership when they had to cook together. She took the lead. So it's kind of hard for a leader to take the lead, to take a back seat, especially when one is just like all over you.
But listen, you gotta do what you gotta do when you're trying to win a competition.
That's true.
Sometimes you gotta step back. Like this wasn't her. Like she wasn't chosen a leader. So, but we'll get into it. Um, that okay. So back to the red team. Staff wasn't plating with Jennifer and Grant on a scallop, so I really don't know what to tell you what she was doing in this moment in time. And Gordon was like, "Yo, you need to come up and help plate, especially since y'all running behind."
But she was burnt. She was having issues cooking this guy. Remember, she was burning her hands. She was burning
Which
herself.
what was up with that?
That's
Well,
what I was confused. He had to show her what to do. She cooked
Yeah.
scallops. They won. They had a good time with scallops when it was her and Kennedy. So
It was but like and I could understand like why are your hands burning? Are you picking them up and flipping them with your own hand? Like it was like what was you doing, Sav? Like I didn't understand that. I got
nerves.
confused.
I
I
was
got
confused
confused
too. I'm
with
like,
that
she cooked
one.
scallops before. Maybe it was because
She
they was
really
cooking a
did.
lot. I don't.
And like you said, in literally the last competition, literally her last dish was scallops.
She cooked scallops before, and I don't know what was going on. Again, nerves. I think because they were cooking fast, they fell behind. They fell so much behind that Chef Aaron had to step in.
Yeah,
Gordon, like,
yeah,
yo, get
yeah.
over there, yo. We not doing this. They need help. They not doing it right.
But hold on, real quick though. Before he even showed up, they were complaining about the pans being way too hot. It was just insane in the kitchen. The scallops on the red team ended up being burnt,
Mm-hmm.
right?
She burnt them.
Sav, Grant was like Sav was like a deer in the headlights. Like
Mm-hmm.
she was really struggling. And I was just like, wow. Um, and and then another thing, before Aaron came onto the scene, somebody who was this one table was so upset, and I ain't gonna lie, I would have been too. It took them like about a half an hour to get their
Yeah.
appetizer. It was the red team, and this lady, she literally was like, "It's funny how the blue people are getting their food before us. Like we're still waiting." And then Aaron Gordon was like, "Yo, Aaron, can you please like, cause
Yeah, they wasn't doing too good, to
mm-mm.
say the least. Um, now it wasn't just the red team having issues.
No, it
The
wasn't.
blue team had some issues too. And yo, your homie Reagan
Reagan,
got snapped on by
yeah, she
Gordon.
did. She did.
She
She
got
did.
done making risotto for a table, and they were about to move to the next table when she said, "Oh, I still got risotto in this pan. We can use some of this." Gordon had a fit. He said, "Excuse me, no, we not. What we not gonna do is use old risotto from another table to then mix in with new risotto." He's like, "We're not doing that because it's gonna be
Mhm.
old. You gotta. It's gonna be
No, well, first
cold."
first of all, I don't think she was going to cook any risotto at all. So forget she wasn't going to mix it in, nothing. She was just
Mm.
going to use old risotto. And he broke it down, but real quick, Gordon was like, he said, and I quote, "I respect you. Don't disrespect me and my restaurant." And I felt like at that moment, Reagan should have just been like, okay, like, all right. And he
Right.
said, he was like, think about it. You're going to serve fresh lobster with old
Old
risotto.
risotto.
He was like, if the lobster is fresh, then the risotto needs to be fresh as well, which makes complete sense. So she wasn't even going to mix in old risotto with new. She was just going to use straight up old
Old
risotto.
risotto.
That was from another. That was from another. Well, not that was for the previous
The previous table.
table.
So by the time they would have served
You
it, the
can't do
risotto
that.
would have been mushy. It
Yeah, you
wouldn't have
can't
had the
do it
same
like
flavor. It
that.
wouldn't have been hot. And you giving somebody a fresh lobster.
Yeah, can't cut
I
corners.
understood
That's
what
what he said.
she see what she
That's
was thinking.
I
She had to
know.
elevate her mindset because
Yeah,
at
yeah,
home
right.
you better eat the rest of the
But
risotto.
you at home. But that's at home
But
though.
that's at home. We talking
This
about
is a
restaurant.
Michelin. This is a Michelin 5-star restaurant. Like
Everybody has to have the same experience.
yeah.
So I
So you
got it.
don't.
At first I was like,
Yeah,
what's wrong with that? But then I was like,
right.
well, it's a restaurant, so
Right.
I
And
get
then
it.
when he explained it, I was like, oh, I totally get it. That definitely made sense. Um, back to the red team, they was about to
Mm.
serve raw lobster.
Yo, this is where
And
it kind of
and
turned
Grant,
to
wait, and Grant and Jennifer was working on a lobster, by the way.
see, this was a team effort. This all three of them should have got in trouble for this. But he actually more so blamed who was it? No. Was that the one where he blamed Sam for that? Was she at that point? No, I'll skip that. You are right. It was, and Grant didn't check it because he played it. She played it later. So yeah, Grant didn't check it. Grant, to me, he can cook, but he too quiet
There was no communication.
whatsoever.
And they had communication about communication. They was
Mm-hmm.
like, oh, we'll be good as long as we communicate. There
And
was
then
no
didn't communicate.
communication. It was like, what happened?
Unlike the red team, though, the blue team got themselves together to the point
Yeah.
where Kennedy was like, "Yo, I'm impressed. I'm impressed. He changed his leadership style.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
easy to communicate with now, and we're getting stuff." And you could tell they were literally rolling by the end of the
They
app
were.
service. They
They
were just getting
were.
it out.
They
And
were.
again,
They
I
they,
don't.
they finished.
I personally don't know Wayne, but I I've been saying it for the last few weeks. It's just his attitude sometimes. He even says that I know I could come off as cocky or overly confident, and it's like, yeah, you do. But if you dial it back, he's not a bad person. Definitely not a bad chef. But they were able to knock it out, get everything finished. Gordon Ramsay was impressed. He told him, look, you started off slow, but you picked it up and you
Yep.
finished it. Now,
Yep.
when he went over to the red team, when they got done, he was like, well, I don't
I
know
will.
what good thing to say. We didn't, at least you didn't get shut down. That's the only good thing you can say.
Well, that was because Chef Aaron stepped
Mm-hmm.
in. But I will say Grant did take accountability and he owned up that he failed as a captain. So I'll give him that.
Yeah, I would have. If I was Gordon, I would have snatched that C off and gave it to Jennifer. Maybe give somebody else a chance. He's just too quiet. I think Jennifer would have made a good captain because she got kids and she has 6 kids and
Knows how to delegate.
she exactly. Whereas just
Yeah.
Grant he's more so in his head to get it done too. He's a chef in his mind.
Mm-hmm.
He's a
Mm-hmm.
chef, not actually like a leader.
Right.
But overall, they got through the apps. Nobody got shut down, but Blue did do better than Red, obviously. They moved on to the entree. It was just one entree. It was the filet mignon
It
with
was
parsnip puree. It was one. You're
two
right.
different.
It was 2. Filet mignon, parsnip puree with roasted tomatoes and a béarnaise sauce. And then they had the second option, which was a crispy skinned salmon with white bean and chorizo, sea bean salad, and a citrus beurre blanc.
Real quick, I should have asked this the first. Which appetizer would you have chosen?
That's a hard one because I like scallops and I like lobster, probably the lobster risotto, and I don't even like rice like
Lobster.
that. I don't even like
Really?
rice like that, but I like a good risotto.
I think I would have done the pan-seared scallops. Same question for the entree before we start. Which one would you have picked?
I don't. Here's the crazy part. I don't like either or. I don't like
Oh,
filet
really?
mignon. I don't like that cut of steak.
Oh.
And I really don't like salmon. But
Oh,
salmon
wow.
cooked right, I might. The crispy skin sounded kind of good, so I think I would. I definitely don't like filet mignon, but I definitely probably
Okay.
would have went with the salmon just
I
because.
would have went with the salmon too. I would have just sound, yeah.
Yeah,
I would
filet
have done
mignon
that.
is more of like a roast, and I don't really like roast.
Okay. All righty. So now we're back at it. This was obviously a easy decision on who was going to do what for the blue team. Since Reagan is allergic to fish, she did the filet mignon, and Kennedy was on the salmon.
Yeah, and
Um,
Grant was
but
like for the blue team was like, "Hey, yo, Reagan."
you mean for
I
the
mean,
red team?
for the red team, he was like, "Sav, just you know what? You see where the plates are? Yeah, go over there. Don't cook nothing."
He really did. But
He's
the
like, "I'm gonna
question
do the
is,
steak."
wait, but the question is, did she even do that right?
Well, did any of them do
So
anything right? Because apparently not. We gonna get into it.
we're gonna get into it.
Um,
So the red team, starting out with this round, seems to have built up a momentum.
mhm.
They started like really well for the second half. Did they stay? Well, we're going to talk about it. Um, well, yeah, we're really about to get into it. Jennifer was about to serve some raw salmon, and I
I'm,
think that was the downfall again of the red team, if you ask me.
I'll, Jennifer. Jennifer has been doing a lot of things wrong in this episode.
But real quick
But
though, Sav,
he blamed. This is the part. That's the part where he blames Sav because technically she's the plater, so she has to check that, which I do understand. Yo, you got to check that, but I don't feel like he should have blamed her because she keeps serving raw stuff. Like, yo, stop serving raw stuff. This is like the second.
yeah,
Stop serving me raw food.
yeah, yeah. On the blue team, Wayne too kept burning himself. He kept touching the
Yeah.
pans with his bare hand, and he was just touching everything with his bare hands, and it's just like, yo, no.
Where's your towel? You're supposed to keep a
Yes,
towel. He's just out
yes.
picking up hot pans and like, what are you
But
doing?
he was, because he was moving too fast. I was just like, yo, you have to slow down. Slow it down. And I literally put, oh no, the blue team served rare steak.
Well, before that, Reagan didn't. She was on steaks and she was messing up. She didn't know the temperature. She didn't know if the stove was even on.
Oh
She
my
was
God. Yes.
frazzled
She was
all over the
flustered.
place.
She was
So
flustered.
she started messing up with them steaks. And as you
Yeah, yeah,
said,
she did.
her messing up on the steaks. But I didn't hear him come at Wayne for not checking the temperature, even though
I
he was
know, right?
plating. You want to
Well,
come at
I mean,
Sad?
it could have been editing. Don't forget that too. We don't see
Well, they
everything.
should have put it
So
in there. Equal opportunity. But yeah, they started off slow. Um, and as you said, they served raw steak. Go ahead.
wait,
Like you want to say something.
Aaron. So back to the red team, Aaron had to tell Grant that the fillet was under the
Yeah,
red
when
team.
they was checking it, yeah, before they
Yeah.
went out, you're like, yo, this isn't done.
But oh wait. But one went out. One went out. One went
And
out.
the
Let
lady was, yeah,
yo. But wait, go ahead. What did the lady say?
they swapped dish because it was rarer than she would prefer, so she swapped dishes with somebody. And Joe was like, "Oh no, we're not doing that. I'll
No,
get you to get you
no.
another cut."
And what was deep was they kept cooking raw. The
Mhm.
replacement was raw.
So here's my thing: you remove Sav because she wasn't cooking right, only for you not to cook right. So that's why I'm like, y'all putting all this pressure on Sav. Grant ain't even cook. He's on steaks. What is he doing?
But let me tell you, this particular steak, it was so red.
Yeah.
It was like blood. The cow was still mooing.
Yeah, I
That's
don't think
how raw it was. And you swap dishes, you would
mhm.
have got sick.
Some people that's rare. Some people eat their steak rare like that, and I don't, for the life of me, understand how.
That
That's
sounds
I don't
terrible.
like. Some
And
people like a little blood, and I'm like, oh, that's too.
that just
Mm-mm.
sounds terrible. Like that just sounds like a health hazard.
Yeah, some people eat it like that. I don't know why. I can't do it. But that wasn't what the lady wanted though. She like, I don't want mine like this.
But she gonna
And then
swap it.
then it,
I wish you would.
yeah,
No.
give me
Send
another
it
one.
send it back.
But then
Crazy.
they had to the way they had to recook it, they had to slice it, which is not the way you normally want to cook because you can dry it out, so it's not going to be. And you can see it on
Yeah.
the lady's face when Joe brought it back to her. He's like,
Yeah.
"Oh, I'm sorry, we had to open it to cut it." She's like, "Oh, okay, the fuck kind of shit." I want a fresh one, damn it. But
But
they were
that
too
was
behind.
but that wasn't their first one. So I jumped ahead. They made another one and it was just still the same problem. Gordon, this is where remember Gordon before they sent this one out, Gordon asked Sav to fill the steak
Mm-hmm.
and he was like, "What does that feel like to you?" And she said
She said
medium rare.
medium rare.
And
And he like,
he
it's
was like, "Wait,
raw.
wait, 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 wait." And he was like, "That feels like medium rare to you?"
Mm-hmm.
Question mark. And he cuts it open and it's raw. Raw.
That goes to
I said,
show.
dang. That's when I knew. I was like, I'm sorry, the red team on the bottom. I knew it.
I knew it from the appetizers. I ain't. Soon as Aaron had to step in, I was like, "Oh, it's over. Oh, it's over. Y'all done. Don't even cook the entree. It's over." But here's the thing, though. I caught it. They didn't bring it out into the open. Chef Aaron was over in the blue team side too at one point. He was back there. I
Mm.
saw it. It was like one little clip, and I'm
Okay.
like, oh, he was over there. Why y'all ain't highlight that? He
Okay.
was over there
Okay.
helping them.
Okay. All right.
But
Shady camera edited people.
I just felt like after the apps, it was the way they did their apps. It was just done. Jen set the tone on each part with serving raw something,
Yeah.
and Sav was getting blamed for everybody mistakes, even though she was burning them scallops. She was the pans was too hot. And then on the blue side, though, Reagan was getting real frazzled to the point when she was rushing and she set her towel on fire just a little bit, not a lot. Ramsey's like, yo, slow down, like chill. You
But
came this far.
but real quick though, the red team still with the entree ended up being the last team to be done.
Mm-hmm. They were behind the whole time.
The whole time. The whole
The
time,
blue
y'all.
team each time starts off slow, but ends up getting it together to be able to like finish it. They didn't have too much stuff coming back.
Yeah,
Whereas
they
the red
didn't.
team, they always had something coming back, and they
Mm,
kept falling behind, and it
yep.
was raw. So this is what I got to say.
Go ahead, say it.
I we'll wait. We'll go over the winner and loser, and then we'll talk
Well,
about it too.
we already look 2 seconds. So obviously the winner is the blue team, and the red
Team
team is
Wayne,
the loser. Okay, and
the
then
red team was the loser.
do you want
You
me to
say,
say who went home?
be my
Okay,
guest.
and because of this, Saf went home. So what you got to say? Because Search has something to say.
I don't feel like sad. I don't agree with this. I feel like Jennifer should have went home. I feel like when you're serving, I get it. She didn't do well at the plating, but neither did Grant because he never caught anything that was going out raw. Gordon caught it for both Grant and Sav. She didn't serve raw anything. Where Grant served raw meat, and twice Jennifer was about to serve raw. She was serving raw stuff. She didn't put on lobster at one point when she was supposed to. She was messing up to me enough to say, hey, you need to get raw. You're serving raw multiple times during the service. to me, that was bigger than what Sav was doing. That's just
Yeah,
my opinion.
because and I feel like at the point I mean, you're the one who's cooking this, so you should know whether or not if your food is raw or not.
You started the whole service with burnt risotto. You just started off wrong.
Yeah.
She made way more mistakes to me than what Sav did. I'm sorry. I don't know if
Yep.
this was like for like storyline or whatever, but to me, Sav shouldn't. I like Jennifer should have went home. I'm sorry.
I
I
can
do not
see
agree with
that.
this.
Yeah. Search is upset, y'all. Y'all messed up. All right. Now we have the second episode. And within this episode was 2 challenges, double elimination.
Mm-hmm.
So the first, and this is where it was whoever cooks the worst dish was immediately sent home. This was for the first challenge. The
Mm-hmm.
first challenge was a pasta dish. They each had to create their version of a Michelin star pasta dish. So we're just gonna
Stuffed
go, we're just
pasta.
gonna run, sorry, stuffed pasta. We're just gonna run through who had which pasta dough or which dough. So Reagan got the spinach dough, Jennifer got the red beet pasta dough, never heard of that. Grant got the squid ink pasta dough, never heard of it. Kennedy got the plain pasta dough, and Grant got the saffron pasta dough.
They said from the
And
jump he had the hardest dough.
yeah, they
And
said
that
that
was
from the
handpicked
jump.
because they called each person to come down and pick. They didn't like, so that was crazy. The saffron, because
Well,
it got a weird taste to it. Then when you got to cook it a certain way.
he was also the last to pick his pasta and also.
They made him go last. They gave him the hardest dough. Because they picked in order. It wasn't like they was picking random doughs. They picked in order.
Oh. Oh, okay. Got it.
So I was like, dang. That's why I'm like, yo, is this scripted? Is this I'm like, why they give him? I'm like, oh well, okay, we'll see. We'll find out. I've heard of squid ink pasta though. It's black. I've seen that before. Not a lot. Don't know what it tastes like. I've heard of
Mm,
spinach and I never heard of beet. That sounds
yeah,
nasty.
never
Beet
heard
tastes
of
like
it.
dirt.
Um, well, it comes from the ground. Well, so it's not easy. They had to create this in 45 minutes. Um, I didn't have much to really say about the in between. What
Yeah,
about
because they
you?
they didn't do a lot of going back and forth or oh I'm messing up. Again,
Yeah,
Wayne had the hardest dough. They told him he had the hardest dough, and then Kennedy, she was doing like some kind of seafood stuffing. So excuse me, she decided to use uni, and that made Joe a little nervous. He's like, "Be careful with that uni.
and
You're
not only
you're not
that,
really supposed to cook it."
she was using caviar.
Well, I didn't mind it. Have you? Oh, that's what I was going to ask. Have you ever had caviar?
No,
I've only had caviar one time. You want to know what time this was?
what time?
Your wedding. Your wedding night. Remember the after party?
Yes.
Uncle Andre, thanks to good old Uncle Andre, he has soaked caviar in alcohol, and he was walking around giving people caviar. So it was so good. I never had it on anything else. I had alcohol infused caviar from your uncle.
Yes.
I don't think he was in there at that time. That's when I had first gotten up there, and I was like, he just was walking around giving people a spoonful.
Yo, that is hilarious.
So that was the one and only time I had caviar, and it was infused with alcohol. And
Ooh,
I will only eat
wow.
caviar if it has alcohol
But
in it.
alcohol. Yo, that is so dope. Wow, that's hilarious. So,
But yeah,
all right.
that's all I had. That's all I had about this run. It was for the most part pretty
Yeah.
straightforward.
Yeah. So, okay. So we're going to start with Grant. Grant made squid ink caramel with crab
Caramele.
caramele. I'm sorry. You're going to have to read this. My auto correct jacked this up. So,
Oh, you want me to read it?
yeah, cuz my
Squid.
audio
I don't feel like
correct jacked it up.
Squid ink caramele with crab and clam and a white wine and seafood sauce is what he cooked.
That plating looked horrible. I didn't like the plating at
That's what they
all.
said. They gave him. They said his technical skills were on point with him making the noodles and all that. They was like, I just don't like the plating.
Yeah,
Um,
but the dish was good. They said it was really good.
it was Michelin
It
star quality. They said.
it was balanced, but yeah, that plating was not. So Grant work on that. Kennedy made the tortellini with crab and scallop and cream sauce and caviar.
No.
What the heck do I
This is
have?
why
What is
every week I'll be trying to
going on?
understand why you try to read these names off when I do the names. Let me do the names. I got it. I don't know why
But
you
I
try to
made
do this.
but I made sure I
Tortellini with crab and scallops with the
oh.
uni cream sauce with caviar.
So, okay, is it true you're not supposed to have too much caviar? I don't know how it is
Yeah,
with
you're not supposed to have a
alcohol.
lot of it.
Okay.
I only had a spoonful
Um,
when I had it with the alcohol.
okay. Um, and I was going to say I've never tried caviar. But Kennedy's dish looked good. Um, I love cream sauces, so it looked good. However, they said her sauce was overpowering and it was very salty,
Salty
like salty.
and they said, well, Joe said it was more so like butter. I will put this on my toast. I was like, damn.
Mm, yeah.
So it
But the
wasn't really,
plating wasn't,
yeah.
yeah, but the plating was exceptional. And then you have Wayne.
Oh, I get the okay. So he did a saffron risotto with lobster and butter tomato cream sauce.
I thought it was ravioli.
What did I just say?
Rizzoli.
I said risotto. I thought I said ravioli. Sorry, saffron ravioli with lobster and butter tomato cream sauce.
I didn't see the sauce.
There was hardly any sauce. He burnt at the end of the round. I don't know if you saw. He burnt it. It broke. It broke apart. So he didn't have sauce because he was doing too much as always, extra, and the sauce, the oil that he was trying to get, I believe it was from some kind of bacon or something. It didn't, or it was something, and it didn't fuse right, so it didn't come together. So it basically was incomplete, as what they said, and it looked unfinished.
And I mean, he knew it though. But they
Mm-hmm.
said the pasta was cooked really, really good, but
They
they
didn't taste the
couldn't taste
lobster.
the filling. Yeah,
Yeah,
they
it
was
was
like,
no.
"Where's the lobster?" So it was like Joe said, half of a dish.
Mm-hmm.
Ne-
Jennifer did. Go ahead. Oh, Jennifer did the red beet tortellini with the Ville buco and a risotto and a
I,
Ville deme
I thought
and a red wine reduction.
I thought it was oso buco.
Oso buco.
Never heard.
No,
Let me tell you, I never heard of oso buco, but her dish. Oh my gosh,
it was a work of art. I
I
will say that. I will
it.
give her that.
Oh my gosh, it looked like roses was spilt into something like this beautiful red sauce. It was so pretty. Like, that's a dish I would have admired. I would have taken 20 pictures, as Search already knows, before I dug in, and I would have ate that dish really, really slowly, like just
Yeah,
to savor it. They said that this dish, well, Joe said, he was like, it's delicious. He was like, no comment. Like, he was like, my goodness. Like, he had no comment.
they
Gordon
called it
said,
perfect.
Yeah, Gordon said this was close to perfect, but he
Hmm.
doesn't like the garlic. But that's just the him thing.
Yeah,
But
she should have sauteed it. It was raw garlic, which I was like, ew, raw garlic.
yeah. She should. I agree. But it was
Yeah,
good
probably
job,
I
Jennifer.
would say that's probably one of the best dishes I've seen all season. As far as
Yeah,
looks, it was just like, whoa, that's crazy.
yeah. She
Um,
did her thing.
we had Reagan, who did the spinach ravioli with stuffed, and it was stuffed with Swiss chard and ricotta, and she had a side of tomato sauce.
Gordon said that this looked like restaurant quality style. Joe disagreed. He said it looked like home cooked by mama style cook, which is better than the restaurant. And let me tell you, I have to agree with
Mm-hmm.
Joe. And Joe is Italian.
Mm-hmm.
So listen, for him to say that, woo, what a compliment. And they dug in and they was just like, it was delicious. She did an amazing job. So from there, I knew who the top three was. It didn't take a socket Ryan, a socket, a,
A
a
sake.
rocket, a rocket scientist to figure this out. That the top three were Grant, Jennifer, and Reagan. So congratulations. And I feel
Yeah,
like this was the first time that Reagan really stood out.
she was. Yeah, she killed that one. And it doesn't take a socket riotous to know that Kennedy and Wayne were at the bottom. Sadly, and this is shocking. I did not expect this to happen.
Wait, can I just say this? When this happened, I thought about you, Serge. I thought about you.
And I've been a heavy critiquer of this person, but
Yeah.
I always said this person can cook. But we had to say goodbye to Wayne.
A
I
very strong competitor.
I was shocked. I knew he. Here's the thing. I knew he had messed up and all that, but in my mind, I didn't think like, oh, Wayne going home this week. Even
I didn't
after
think
what he
so
did,
either.
it just didn't. I don't know why I
I
didn't think about it, but
I
he did
thought
have the
he was
worst dish.
I thought he was well, there was no sauce and it wasn't finished and he knew that. Like he said that. So yeah, I really thought he was gonna go into the
I thought
finale,
the
but
top three I had was Grant, Kennedy, and Wayne. That's who I thought it would be.
mm, well, Wayne, sorry to say, but we have to say goodbye to you. It was nice to see you on the show. It was nice to see your growth. You really have grown into a professional, and I am sure you are doing some amazing things
Yeah.
since the
As I
show.
said before, I had a lot of critique with Wayne, but it was never against his cooking. He was always a good cook, great cook.
Mm-hmm.
I thought he was one of the top. All I said was his confidence and cockiness can rub people the wrong way a little bit. But thank you for
Yeah.
being on the show. It was definitely good seeing you grow, watch you create crazy dishes. The craziest thing you did was the 9-layer cake. You had all types of issues going on with it, and it was the craziest cake. Why they keep giving you the craziest things to do? You got the craziest dough, the craziest cake,
Because
but
they
you
know
did it.
he's good.
But you
Because
did
he's
you did your
good.
thing. So congratulations for making it this far.
N- Now we have the next challenge, which is the hardest challenge, if you ask me.
Hmm.
So they had to keep up with Gordon as he cooked one of his signature dishes, which was, let me try this, coffee crusted smoked venison with truffle gana- ganache, cauliflower puree, and red wine chocolate sauce.
And then
I
what he
mean,
actually
yaki,
cooked,
yaki,
what he
gnocchi,
actually cooked was a
truffle
coffee crusted
gnocchi,
smoked venison with truffled gnocchi, cauliflower
gnocchi.
puree, and red
Well,
wine
that was the
chocolate
only
sauce.
thing I got wrong was the gnocchi. I forgot. Okay, goodness grief.
I read them. I don't know why you try to do this.
I said, let me try it. I wrote it down. I
Yeah,
just
you tried
forgot
it.
that that was
She
gnocchi.
tried it.
I had it down.
They
Anyway,
they
so
basically said this is like the final round, the final boss in the video game, and it kind of was like that. The way they had him walk out in the smoke, and he's like, "Yeah, I'm about to get all y'all."
very dramatic, very
But
dramatic.
yo, you right. Watching Gordon cook, you would think the video is sped up because he cooks fast. Like I want to
So
get to that point where our
fast.
cooking videos, like yo, Shanid, you have to keep up. We
Well,
about to get this.
it'll just be me holding the camera and that's it.
But he cooks and it's just like there is no slowing down. And I was nervous for a couple of these people. Off rip, I'm like, yo, well, one person in particular, I'm like, Reagan, I don't know how she's going to fare. And Grant, because Grant is kind of slow with his cooking. He likes to, but for the most part, Grant, they said, was the most in charge of his dish
Yeah.
starting off when he was cooking.
So once Gordon was done, they had 30 seconds to finish their dish. So that was the deal. So, and like Search already mentioned, Grant was doing a really good job with keeping up. I think he was about the only one.
Mm-hmm.
Um, Jennifer's puree was too grainy.
Mm-hmm.
It was not good
Cooked all the way
enough.
through.
Yes. Kennedy had too many flames going up on her. What is it? How do you pronounce it?
Gnocchi.
Gnocchi. Okay. She literally burnt it.
She
That
burnt
thing
them.
was burnt. And she was like, "Oh, I'm going home after this."
I
Jumping
ain't
to
gonna hold you. I thought to
conclusions.
say, I was like, oh shoot, she going home.
Yeah.
And then
Um,
Reagan messed up her chocolate sauce at the end.
yeah, she did. She did. And that's when like she was falling behind. I was like, oh my gosh. So at the end, like Reagan's sauce broke. Jennifer said her sauce broke too because the plate was so hot.
Mm-hmm.
Um, then this is where they started reviewing everybody's food. Kennedy's sauce ended up breaking, but she had good reviews on her dish. Grant, don't sleep on Grant.
I
Joe
slept.
said he Joe said that he thinks that his came out really close to like what Gordon had. Like he was like these two dishes look like and tasted like they came out of the same
The
restaurant.
same kitchen. Yep.
So very, very close. Grant, congratulations, yo. Congratulations. So
And then
from
he
here, I'm sorry, I knew who the top two were, which was Grant and Kennedy. So it was between Reagan and Jen. Um, Reagan just missed the mark.
she
She
missed the
just missed the
puree. She
mark.
missed the sauce, and they said it tastes bad. It just
Yeah.
the
Well,
cook.
that sauce is the one that puts
Yeah.
everything together. And
The
then her
the
Venice
cook.
wasn't.
Yeah, it was inconsistent. Some parts were raw. Some parts were cooked okay. And then her gnocchi was bitter. I don't know how you make your gnocchi bitter. I think she used too much olive oil or something, but
Yeah.
yeah.
And then Jennifer too was missing some elements.
Mm-hmm.
So again, like I said, you already knew who was on the bottom. It's Reagan and Jennifer. And who ended up going home?
Reagan.
How do you feel about this?
Uh Here's my thing. I think Reagan. All right, so I'm looking at what she did. She missed your puree. She missed the sauce. It tastes bad. Inconsistent with the venison. Gnocchi was bitter. But if you look at Jennifer, her sauce broke and it was over reduced. She had no cauliflower puree. The venison was undercooked and the sauce was stuck to the plate as if it was like
A paste?
molasses. But the gnocchi was the best part of her dish. Therefore, I do think Jennifer edged her out
Sh-
a little bit.
Okay.
Very,
Okay.
just like slightly. Because she had an
Yeah.
okay cooked venison and she had good gnocchi. Whereas Reagan didn't have cooked venison because it was inconsistent and her gnocchi was bitter. So,
Yeah. Yeah.
but if Jennifer would have went home last week or last episode, maybe this would have been different. But
Mm.
unfortunately, we have to say goodbye to Reagan. Reagan, you started off the competition not being in the first few episodes of when the competition started, didn't really hear from you, but then you kind of start finding your way through and you started to have a voice and you proved yourself as a great cook. You literally cooked fish when you were allergic to it. Like you could have died. So you were willing to die for this competition. So thank you so much for being on the show. Hopefully we can get you on the pod.
So now our finalists is Grant, Kennedy, and Jennifer. Who do you think is going to take it? I have my non-existent money on Grant or maybe Kennedy.
I have my money on Jennifer. I
Okay.
don't know
All right.
why,
Well,
but
okay. Well,
she keeps sliding through,
all right.
and
Well,
she
we're
can
going to
cook. Here's the
see.
thing: if she outside of these teen challenges, when she has to cook, she does pretty good. There's only one episode where she kind of was feeling herself. She had
I
one like back to
remember.
back,
Yeah. Yep.
but
Yep.
she
I
can cook.
know.
So if
Well,
she stays calm and consistent, we see what she did with the pasta best dish. Like that was
I think
crazy.
I think she will execute some of the most prettiest dishes in the final, I think. But we shall see. It's very interesting how there's one person from the Midwest, there's one person from the West, and then there's one person from the South. No one from the Northeast.
I think this was a setup. I think it was an evil plot to keep
uh,
the Northeast out of it because they know how nice we are.
they
I
should have
do
had
feel some
somebody
type
from
of way.
Pennsylvania. They should have had somebody from Pennsylvania.
I think they used Colby as an industry plant to take out Bren because Bren.
Mm.
I thought she would be like that's the thing. It's some of these people that I'm like,
That's why I was upset last week. I understand that was the rules, but I'm sorry. Like
no, it's the rule.
Jennifer and but I don't but Jennifer and Colby should have went home. Like it just
That's the
sucks that
rules.
I understand that's the rules, but I'm just saying. I'm just saying.
That's
Just
the
like
rules.
you felt like that's just like how you feel Jennifer should have went home. I have an
That
opinion.
wasn't the rule. They
I
literally
don't
picked the wrong
care.
person.
F them rules. F them freaking rules.
It's been
I'm
the
just
rules for
saying.
13
I don't
seasons.
care. I don't care. I'm just saying, okay? Like it was just sad to see like a really home cook go home because of one really bad one, Colby. What the heck were you Anyway, that was last week's episode. We're not moving backwards. But guys, we will see y'all next week for the finales. Who is going
Yes.
to win? So I have my pick between either Grant or Kennedy, and Search has his pick on Jennifer. So as you can see, we are divided. But we'll
Yeah, I'm only
find out
picking
next
one.
week.
I got a strong feeling it's Jennifer. But we're going, like you said, next
Well, we're
week.
gonna find out who was right
We're gonna find
next
out
week.
next week who's right. So when I become right, I want everybody to say in the chat that I am the king. But this has been a crazy. It's already over. I feel like we just started reviewing this show. It wasn't as many episodes as Next Level Chef.
That's because they
Well,
started
it wasn't that
doubling
many
up.
weeks. It wasn't that
No,
many
because
weeks.
they started doubling up.
Yeah,
You
it
are
wasn't.
absolutely
It went
correct.
by. Because now, guess what? I just realized not only does Hell's Kitchen come out, but so does Kitchen Nightmares on the same week. One comes on the 25th and one is the
Mm.
28th. Yo, Gordon Ramsay is the greatest of all time when it
Yo,
comes to
he is
TV
out
shows.
here. He is out
When?
here. Not to
How does he have
mention
a
his
family?
I know, not to mention his other show that he had out, which is a
Yeah, the
brand new
business
show.
thing
Yep. Yep. He is
and the
out
shows he got
here.
on the Discovery Channel. You know, he got a travel show.
Yep.
Like, when do you sleep? He's an AI. He is the
And
AI.
then, and
iRobot.
then,
iRobot.
not only that, but he be looking at something
TikTok.
similar. Yes, where he is like reviewing people cook. Oh my gosh. Gordon
Robot.
Houseway. There's two of you, or there's
Robot.
three.
It's cloned. He's a
It
robot.
has yeah, it has to be because this is crazy.
But guys,
Crazy.
this has been another week of the Food We Watch podcast. And guess what? We haven't really even talked about this. So if you have an idea of what show you would like for us to review next, because we literally haven't talked about it because I
Oh,
didn't
we
realize
have
the
not talked
finale
about it.
was like the finale just snuck up on us. Like,
Yo,
now we got to
how
find a new
about
show.
that? Oh my gosh.
If y'all want us to keep reviewing the Gordon Ramsay
Wow.
show, that's fine. But we like to give whoever watches the opportunity to decide. So if you're watching this in the chat, let us know what show you would like us to start
Down
reviewing
below.
after
Yes,
next week.
please.
Please let
Yes,
us know.
please. Let us know.
But
And we'll
guess what, guys?
definitely have a poll too on our the Food We Watch pod on Instagram. So check
We gonna have
that out as well.
a
A poll.
poll.
A poll.
We gonna
Sorry.
what? I'm like, we gonna have a pool. I don't know.
Yeah,
I
a
don't know if
poll.
YouTube will allow us to be
Yes.
doing stuff like that. But okay, we
Poll.
gonna have a poll.
Go. Yeah, poll.
Nita gonna set that up because I don't know how to do that. I
I'm gonna
don't know
set
nothing
it
about
up.
that.
Yep, I'm gonna
I
set
don't
it
know
up.
Nance. But
I'm gonna set
thank
it
you
up.
guys for another week. Be sure to tune in next week, Tuesday at 6. Yes, guys, we used to be at 12. We are now at 6. So please tune in. Let us know what you think. Please comment in the chat. Please. We don't get that many comments on this channel or this show. We want to know who's watching. We see you, we see viewers.
Yes, we see y'all. We want to know who y'all
We want
are,
to know who you
though.
are.
Yes. So please comment, like, share, subscribe, all of that good
All the
stuff.
good stuff. But Nita, if people want to get a hold of you directly, how would they be able to do that?
Catch me on IG, Facebook, TikTok. Yes, at Nita.foodphoto. And where can they catch you, Search?
I already know. At Sirchcity on all platforms. If I'm sleeping, I don't answer there. Please make sure you travel over to Normal's Be Chefing on all platforms. And if you want to watch clips of these episodes, just to get a little idea of how we do it and everything, you can always go to at the Food We Watch Pod on TikTok and IG. But before we go, I have to let you know that good things go, good things come, and good things go. Life is like a box of chocolate. And just like Reagan's chocolate sauce, that shit be melting.
And I promise y'all, we are in our right mind.
Boom.